How you doing, YouTube? Matt Massive Beer Reviews back with a fun little collab. To be perfectly honest, you got a little Brix City. Look at that. Can't not recognize that label. That's what Brix City does. Those kind of crazy things. And it's the Waterbury Jams. Now, why is it called Waterbury Jams? It's a little collab with Pro Pig. Man, I didn't expect this one to come across my desk. This actually comes from my boy, Mike Bernardo. He drops beers off. We do a little exchange every so often. It's become a bi-weekly kind of thing as of late. And he picked this up. This is obviously a collaboration with Pro Pig, which is a restaurant in Waterbury, Vermont. And let's see. I don't know if they call any of that stuff out here. Obviously, it's a Brix City version of that. Hence the reason why Mike grabbed it. And if you haven't been to Pro Pig, it's kind of an experience. I mean, once you get up to Waterbury, you're kind of in like an epicenter of all those great New England kind of breweries up there in Vermont. You're talking about you're minutes away from Lawson's, Alchemist, Von Trapp. You're not too far away from Ten Bends. You're not too far away from Burlington. You're not too far away from Hill Farmstead. There's a bunch of great breweries up there. And Pro Pig was kind of like one of the stalwarts of that area for quite some time. My understanding, could be wrong. Am I misremembering? I know I'm not. They pretty much just had a banging awesome tap list, and they end up making beer there. They still do other beers in there, and they do awesome stuff. They brew a lot of their own beers now, and it'll be cool because I think this is the first time I'm having any kind of Pro Pig version of a beer. Because I went there a while ago, and then the last time I went there, we were rushed for time, so I didn't have a chance to stop by. I actually went to a restaurant right across the street, just because they had more vegan options, and that's what my friend wanted to go to. And, yeah. Anyway, let's crack into this sucker, see what you got. You're talking about 8% Imperial IPA, and we'll see what's what. So, yeah. It's been a while. Sure, we'll wear my Brix shirt, but I'm kind of beholden to this anti-racism shirt. I pretty much wear it every review now because I think it's worth it. Anyway, and if that's why you were like, why is he wearing the same shirt all the time? That's why I'm doing it. Label-wise, it's that crazy kind of graphical style that Brix does, but it's got that weird kind of pig on it. So, yeah, I dig it. Date-wise on this sucker, no idea. Go look it up. That's kind of a dark, chunky hazy. I mean, that is you stick a spoon in that sucker, stick straight up. Got a beautiful head on it. Tight, compact bubble sands, a couple stragglers, super creamy, foamy kind of edges, a little bit of soapy in the middle that you guys can't see, but it comes off quite dark. I mean, almost to the point where you want to call it oxidation on that beer from a distance. But it just could be a super turbid, hefty beer. Let's just actually give it a swirl, get a nose, and see where we're at. I don't know. I mean, citrus notes abound, a green dankiness, a sweetness in there, but I think there might be a touch of oxidation in there. I think this might be more kind of just a darker beer as opposed to overtly oxidized. Could be talking myself into that on the nose, so I'm not getting a ton. Now, let's put it this way. Big heads is going to kind of knock down that kind of aromatic factor of the beer a little bit, but it's also, it's a big beer. It's 8%. They can skew a little bit darker from time to time. Yeah, we're just going to dive in. Cheers. How you doing? It's not bad. It's pretty good. There's a subtle touch of oxidation to it, but this beer looks more oxidized than it actually is. But it's not bad. It's very, very subtle. I think it kind of tempers a little bit of the taste. Nothing too crazy. It's a big citrus component here. Almost like a candied citrus in combination with a little bit of sweet kind of tropical fruit, like a little bit of kiwi, just to bump up that kind of sweetness and kind of just exoticness of the fruitiness. How about that for some words? There is this green component to it. It has a little hop pellet characteristic going on, but it is a little danky weed too. It drinks relatively like easy and clean for a beer that looks like that. 8% hazy. You don't expect those words to come out of my mouth, but that's where I actually think the oxidation kind of rears its head just a skosh more than the actual taste. So I'm not getting an overt kind of oxidative wet paper thing, maybe a micron of it, but it is there, and that leads me to believe that it's actually affecting mouthfeel more often than not. oxidized beers will be thinner and drink, quicker. I think it does a little bit of justice here, oddly enough. Sure, it drinks a little bit below its weight class. It's more like a 7% hazy, not an 8% hazy. I'm not going to get in my soapbox about that. But at the same time, it just ends up being a chuggable beer at this ABV level. At this ABV level and doing what it's doing. I'm not going to sit here and say I hate on it. I think it's doing fun things, and I like it. Is it the best hazy I've had ever? No. But it's a fun beer, and that's what beer's all about. Cool to have a collab from a place that, is one of the kind of cornerstones of the New England kind of food and beer scene. That's pretty cool. And just have some Brix City in my life, because I don't get a ton of Brix City now. I don't get out there that often. They do a lot of distro, but still their price point can be a little pricey from time to time, so I don't pick them up nearly as much as opposed to what they cost out when I used to go to the brewery pre-COVID times. But yeah, that orange comes through, a little bit of tropical fruit kind of sweetness, kiwi level vibes there, a little bit of green, a little bit of dank, nothing too crazy. This kind of slightly creamy yet drinkable, quick finishing kind of mouthfeel that kind of leans into a benefit for this beer. Done. That utter little micron of oxidation in the grand scheme of things, I don't think hurts this beer overall. Maybe it dumbs down a bit of the volume this beer originally had, but I'm not going to kind of sit there and hem and haw about it because I think it's pretty tasty. Is this one of the better double IPAs I've had as of late? No, it's in the conversation. It's just not towards the top. I don't know what this beer would be like OG status level, but the way it is now, I don't mind it quite a bit. Down there. Oh, shit, I'm going to skip that whole part. Value and availability, no idea, Mike. I mean, I assume this hits distro because everything has to at this point. So I'm guessing this is probably going to be 18 to 20 bucks a can. Mike, let me know. But you should be able to get it off a shelf and leave you with, if you like what we like this beer. If you like big old hazies, this is not going to hate on you, and you're not going to hate on it, because beers don't actually hate things. It's the other way around. So, yeah, there you go. A little bit of a rough ending to that review, because I don't know. Anyway, down there if you want to talk about it, Massive Beers, if you want to check me out doing the social media stuff, Beer Massive. Want to check me out doing the whole podcasting thing, and hopefully you guys enjoyed the review. Hopefully you're enjoying a little bit of beer right now. Hopefully see you next time. Cheers.